overall, it was a reactionary crowd, and the stuff that needed to get a pop got the pop. Randy got the pop. LA Knight got the pop. All three of those guys cooked Cena in the first segment, and you could see the look on Cena's face where he's like, damn, these boys came to play.
It's crazy because those three didn't even cook him the worst in the entire evening, right? That came later. But Cody Rhodes flat out pinned him 6 nights ago, right?
Yep.
Ron Killings didn't have to say a word to get his point across to John Cena. LA Knight just continues to prove time in and time again that he's awesome, an A+ on the microphone.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to telling a story in the ring, that's where he kind of gets depleted a little bit. That's where you put him in like the Karrion Kross folder of like, he's got all of it, but like what's missing? And then Randy Orton, who I personally don't think we've seen the last Cena versus Orton one-on-one match. I think even tonight, them going face-to-face told me, I think there's a little bit more to be told there. I don't know how they're going to do it with 17 more dates left, but I think there's a John Cena and Randy Orton rematch on the horizon. King of the Ring's really interesting too, because it looks like we're going to have 4 main event guys who are going to be in the final 4 on the men's side.
Yeah.
And I think that wrestling is in a really good stance, all things considering that John Cena as a heel really hasn't quote unquote lived up to the expectations, right? When he first turned heel, you're thinking new entrance gear, new promos, what's going to happen, new music. We didn't really get any of that. And then we have gotten the same old boring ass, tired ass shtick week in and week out of John Cena just thinking that he's a genius and that he's better than everybody. And that he's just like kind of like the typical heel of like, you guys booed me for 25 years.
Yeah.
Now I get to shit on you. It really hasn't been the heel run that we expected, but because of the feuds that he's been able to work, it's kind of worked out. CM Punk goaded him on the mic tonight. He probably got destroyed more so than he has been since he's been back in 2025, if I'm not corrected. That's the promo I expected to hear on Monday Night Raw in Phoenix. We didn't really get the full scope of what CM Punk and John Cena can do to each other on the microphone, but we saw it tonight in Louisville, Kentucky, before Ron Killings ultimately put him in the STF. But I think that we are 17 now? This is 18, so 17 dates remaining with John Cena left. I think we're starting to finally get into the meat of it. He literally has a one-on-one feud with, I would say, 4 guys right now.
Yeah.
CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Ron Killings, R-Truth. They still haven't really given you the whole spiel of if he's Ron Killings or R-Truth, or if it's like a split personality thing. And then Randy Orton.
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably put Randy Orton on the back burner, but like Killings, Rhodes, Punk, he's in feuds with right now.
And
all at the same
LA
time.
Knight stepped up tonight, and he was impressive as well. And I'll give you that. Like, he didn't qualify. Randy Orton got the qualification for tonight, which again, I thought that was surprising. I thought maybe the likes of LA Knight or even Carmelo Hayes, the way they've been booking things over the last several weeks, it's like, okay, one of the big guys is sure to go over, but then you look at it and it's like, okay, one of the mid-tier guys is going to get the opportunity, kind of like they've done through the 90s and the early 2000s with King of the Ring. But no, they're like, okay, Randy Orton's going to qualify. I'm happy. Don't get me wrong. Happy days that Randy Orton qualified. So, but what you said there's a feud there with virtually four different guys. And this is kind of what we need when it comes to a tyrant holding the title. This is what we needed when Roman held the title. Roman held the title for 1,316 days. And it was like one guy at a time. And it was long played out. And I'm okay with that. But now you look at what Cena's doing. It's almost like the entire roster is starting to build and understand that title that you're holding over your shoulder right now is significantly important, and everyone should be focused on John Cena. He's building characters, he's bringing back legends, and helping guys that are in the main event currently. There is such a great build right now and a good little stew of everyone involved, and I love it.
Well, Paul Heyman has always said it best, Steve. If you're looking to book something and you're looking to build something and, grow something and build to something that's going to be unforgettable and undeniable,
Yeah.
you book it backwards. You start from the end and then you go backwards. Okay, we want to get here, but how do we get there? And I think we've seen some things in John Cena's farewell tour that have been booked well in advance. John Cena versus Cody Rhodes with the Cena heel turn.
Mm-hmm.
Bam. What a great start to it, right? And you kind of saw the prelude to that at the Royal Rumble. John Cena getting to share the ring one final time with the Finn Balors of the worlds and the AJ Styles of the
Yeah.
world and Jey Uso and Logan Paul. But then we got to the meat and potatoes of it with his heel turn, him facing the new face of the company, the white meat baby face, and Cody Rhodes for the WWE title. Then he checks off the biggest bucket list in his final year, wins the 17th World Heavyweight Championship. Then where do you go from there? Oh, we got to get to Cena versus Orton one last time. Who's Orton's best friend in the business on screen or off camera as well? Cody Rhodes. So you kind of build to that. And then, of course, you got to get to the CM Punk match, and you got to get to maybe another AJ Styles match. And there's going to be some matches I feel like that are on his checklist because it seems like he also has some sort of creative freedom in his final year, despite I feel like John Cena's too humble to like just say, I want this, that, and that. I feel like it's a collaborative process. But we're also seeing some things that weren't really on the agenda, just like how in Roman Reigns' title reign, Sami Zayn wasn't supposed to get over as he was. Sami Zayn becomes the honorary Uso. All of a sudden, Sami Zayn has a WWE title match in his hometown of Montreal in the craziest crowd environment I think I've ever seen in a WWE environment. And now Sami Zayn's a main event star.
Yeah.
R-Truth, I think when Cena turned heel, they were like thinking like, yeah, R-Truth is, John Cena's his childhood hero. We're probably going to have like a spoof match with him, which they did. But then the whole release thing, whether it was an angle or whether it was a shoot, still really up in the air. Anybody could debate it all day long, but we really don't know shit. That to say if that was a shoot, that turned into Ron Killings. All of a sudden, the fans of at least me and in your eyes, and hopefully the fans that are listening to this right now on the stream, Ron Killings is a main event threat now.
Yes.
And we were not expecting that as of 4 weeks ago, let alone 4 months ago. So John Cena now has a feud with Ron Killings all of a sudden with a match next week on SmackDown. That's a main event storyline, and it shouldn't have been a month ago. So there's things that pop up that surprise you, and then there's the things that are being booked backwards, as Paul Heyman would say. And I feel like when December rolls around, Steve, we're going to be talking about one of the greatest endings to a career in modern history with the story that they're going to tell, regardless what it is.
And it's kind of funny that you say that because I look at, like, how I feel about Cena. I've never been a Cena guy, but I'm sitting here actively involved and ingesting everything that he's doing right now because I'm watching the last 25 years and taking little bits of the things that I liked, the little bits that I didn't like, and it's all coming to a beautiful boil right now, and I love it. So it's a great thing with Cena. I think they're doing a great job, but it's just wild that there are so many people that you at the start of this year, you're like, okay, Cody's going to take the title from Cena at the end of 2025. Now you're like, I have no idea. At this point, you have no idea. It could be The Rock. At the end of this day, it could be The Rock. It could be Travis Scott. We have no idea, but there's so many opportunities right now. So it's great.